In a move that shocked many, former President Donald Trump announced his plan to reopen Alcatraz prison. This infamous island prison sits in San Francisco Bay. It housed some of America's most dangerous criminals. Trump envisions a revitalized Alcatraz as a symbol of law and order. He believes it will deter crime and punish the worst offenders. However, critics call the idea unrealistic and a waste of money. They argue that modern prisons focus on rehabilitation, not just punishment. Trump's plan has ignited a fierce debate. Some people support his tough stance on crime. They believe Alcatraz would make criminals think twice. Others see it as a step backward. They say it evokes a dark chapter in American history. The proposal has put Alcatraz back in the spotlight. It reminds us of the prison's gripping past and the debate it still sparks today. Alcatraz wasn't always a prison. Its story begins in the mid-1800s. Back then, it was a military fort. Its strategic location at the entrance of San Francisco Bay made it ideal for defense. It housed soldiers and protected the bay from enemy ships during the Civil War. In the early 1900s, the military's needs changed. Alcatraz transitioned into a military prison. It held soldiers convicted of crimes. The 1930s saw America gripped by a wave of organized crime and violence. The government needed a solution, a place to hold the most hardened criminals. Alcatraz, with its reputation for isolation, became the answer. In 1934, it reopened its doors as a federal penitentiary. The island's strong currents and frigid waters made escape seem impossible. Alcatraz was the ultimate symbol of confinement and isolation, a place where even the most daring criminals were kept in check. Alcatraz housed some of the most infamous criminals in American history. Al Capone, the notorious gangster, spent 4.5 years there. George "Machine Gun" Kelly, known for his kidnapping crimes, also served time on the island. Robert Stroud, the Birdman of Alcatraz, became famous for his bird studies while incarcerated. Though he couldn't keep birds at Alcatraz, his nickname stuck and added to the prison's mystique. The prison's reputation was solidified by a series of daring escape attempts. Over its 29 years, 36 prisoners tried to escape Alcatraz. Most were caught or killed, but the fate of 3 men remains a mystery: Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin. In 1962, they vanished from their cells, leaving behind dummy heads made of soap, paint, and real hair. Their escape, immortalized in the film Escape from Alcatraz, continues to fascinate people today. Whether they survived the treacherous currents remains unsolved, adding to the legend of Alcatraz. Section 4. The End of an Era, Why Alcatraz Closed. By the early 1960s, Alcatraz was crumbling. Years of exposure to salt water had taken their toll on the buildings. The cost of repairs was astronomical. Additionally, running Alcatraz was extremely expensive. Its isolated location meant everything had to be shipped in. The government realized it was simply too costly to keep the prison operational. Beyond the financial burden, a new philosophy on prison reform was emerging. People began to question the effectiveness of isolating and punishing prisoners. The focus shifted towards rehabilitation and reintegration into society. These factors, coupled with the prison's deteriorating state, led to the decision to close Alcatraz in 1963. The last inmates left the island, marking the end of an era. Section 5. Alcatraz Today, a tourist hotspot. Today, Alcatraz is a far cry from its intimidating past. The island is a designated National Historic Landmark. Millions of tourists visit each year, drawn by its history and eerie atmosphere. They explore the cell blocks, hear stories of notorious inmates, and imagine the daring escape attempts. Trump's proposal to reopen Alcatraz has stirred controversy. Critics argue it's impractical and disrespectful to the site's history. They point to the high costs and the need for modern prison reform. They believe Alcatraz should remain a reminder of a bygone era in criminal justice. Whether it's a symbol of harsh punishment or a fascinating historical site, Alcatraz continues to captivate the public's imagination. Its future remains uncertain, caught between its dark past and its present as a place of remembrance and reflection.